So we're going to start on our backs and just work with a little bit of breathing before we start moving. What we're going to do today is called a three-part breath, and three-part breath really gets into expanding our rib cage. And that's an important piece of what we're doing today. Expanding the rib cage can help us with our breathing. Side bending can open the rib cage, help keep those muscles nice and supple. So you can either have your feet flat, you can have legs out, or you could do a bound angle with feet together, knees apart. And if you want, you could support your knees if you choose the bound angle. And then we'll just put our hands somewhere on our abdomen. And first, just checking in. How am I feeling today? How is the breath? If you had a tricky morning, let's see if we can kind of let go of all of that and just be here, be present for your practice. And then starting to follow the rise and fall of your breath. Let it come down into your lower belly. So initially, let's aim for the breath to be below your navel. You're kind of at the navel, below the navel, starting to deepen that breath. And we'll talk today about the concept of this is the pose we're working on is called Gait Pose, and how yoga is often a gateway for us. It's a gateway toward perhaps taking care of ourselves better, for understanding ourselves, understanding the world around us, our relationships. Yoga can be a gateway toward a deeper spirituality. It can just be a gateway toward letting go of unhealthy habits. Some of you have been practicing for quite a few years now. So just thinking about, how yoga has been that gateway for you, how it has it kind of spread out into other areas of your life. Now let your hands come up onto your rib cage right below your chest and see if we can now start to bring some breath into the rib cage. So rather than all the way down in the low belly, can you feel the breath move underneath your hands? And not only in the front of your hands, but also can you breathe into your side ribs and your back ribs? So back ribs are really important. So if we kind of contain the front of the body a bit with a little resistance, we can let the breath move more into the back ribs. Getting the breath into some of these stagnant areas of our breathing space can be really helpful, especially the back of our lungs. Let this breath just help soothe you and calm you. No forcing it, just let it be very relaxed. And now we'll bring our hands up onto our chest and we'll do the last part. Now we'll breathe into the chest. And so there's nothing wrong with breathing into our chest, but most of us favor chest breathing, and we want to not just breathe up into our chest. We breathe into our chest, we're not going to get as much benefit of our oxygen into our bloodstream or the stimulation into our heart. It's going to really overuse our neck and chest muscles. So we want to use this as kind of only a temporary situation to breathe into the chest. Okay, let your hands come back down onto your abdomen. Now we put it all together. So breathe into your belly, your ribs, your chest, all 3 parts. And then exhale from your chest to your ribs to your belly. And we're just going to take about 3-4 more cycles now with this complete 3-part breath. Start to fill up really slowly. Like you have a lot of time to take that breath. And then start to exhale equally slowly, letting it out a little bit at a time. Try not to rush your breath. This helps calm our heart, reduce stress levels, help us digest our food better, and just have overall better health. Last round here. Just noticing the effect of your breath practice. And after this last round, we're going to go ahead and whatever your legs are in, we're going to take a full body stretch. So if you have a pillow, you could take that out for a moment and just really stretch it out. Get long through both sides of your body. And then you can pull the pillow back in if you're using one and bring your right knee into your chest. All right, and then we're going to extend that leg up towards straight. Hold behind the back of your thigh. And let's go ahead, circle your foot around. We'll wake up the ankle a bit. The gait pose, we're going to rely on those ankles a little bit. Circle it the other way. And then point flex a few times. And then pause and press your thigh into your hands and use your hands to pull your thigh toward you. So we get that resistance, active range of motion. And now slowly bend the knee, let the heel come down. And then very slowly re-extend as if you have to push through the air to get that leg straight. So we use that resistance. Do that one more time. Bend the knee, pull the foot down. And now slowly, slowly push it up. All right, bring that knee back into your chest. And you're going to take your right hand on the outside of your thigh. I know you probably won't be able to see me very well, but I'll do it on the left. Just put your hand on the outside of your thigh. And then let your right knee drop open until your elbow is on the ground and your hand is kind of a little kickstand for your leg. Yeah. And if you want, I could show that again on the other side. Okay, hopefully you guys all have that. Now, with that little, your hand supporting of that little kickstand, go ahead and straighten your right leg out to the side on an angle. Really reach through that heel. You're reaching through the whole inner leg and then rebend. And just do that a few times. Straighten the leg, push out through your heel, extend through the inner leg, and then release. We're going to do that one more time. Extend out. And then release, bring the knee back into the chest. Now, take that leg across over to your left. Roll onto your left hip. And again, you're going to use your left hand to support the leg and kind of hold it up, because we're not letting it drop all the way to the ground. So left hand holds the thigh on the inner thigh side, and then extend that leg. Kick through your heel, feel that nice lengthening quality on the side of the leg, and then bend and straighten. And one more time here. Now we're going to go from side to side. We've done this before, called pass the leg. So go back to the right, extend the leg out to the right. Pass it over to the left and extend it out to the left. That's it, guys. And now go back and forth. So we're just really trying to create some fluidity in our hip joints, our knee joints, into the pelvis a bit here. Also, we're getting some action in the hamstrings and the inner thighs. Next time you come back through the center, just hug that knee back into your chest. And then let that leg come out. And we'll do the other side. So bring the left knee in, give it a good squeeze. And then we're going to drop it out to this. Oh no, I'm sorry, extend the leg up first. I forgot this part. So hold here and let's circle that foot around. I don't want to miss that. And then go the other direction. And point flex. Okay, and now clasping your hands, pull your thigh towards you and push your thigh into your hands. And then we'll slowly bend the knee and re-extend. And doing that again, bend the knee, through resistance, slowly re-extend. Good, bend the knee, draw it out to the side. Now we support with that left hand. And a couple times we'll straighten slowly, extend through the inner leg and bend. And extend and bend. One more time. Okay, now we're going to pass it over, roll onto your right hip, support your leg, and 3 times. Straighten through resistance and bend. And straighten and bend. And one more time. Straighten and bend. And now we pass the leg side to side, out to the left and across to the right. And then just go back and forth a few times, just getting that hip nice and mobile. Our hips get really sticky, especially if we tend to sit for a good part of our day. So this is really good to unstick our hips. Ooh, that wind is kicking up here. I hope we don't lose power. All right, give your knee a hug into your chest. Just know if we would happen to lose power, you guys will get a class for free. So no worries, but hopefully we will be good. Okay, full body stretch on your next inhale. Take your pillow out of the way if you have a pillow. With your arms and legs stretching out long, start to reach your arms over to your right side. So we come into a crescent shape and walk your legs to the right side. Stretch out that side body. Keep your shoulders and your hips evenly on the ground. And if you want, you could pull on your left wrist a little bit, give a little extra traction. One more big breath. And then over to the other side. So walk your upper body over to the left, walk your legs to the left if you like, and then maybe pull that wrist, give yourself a little extra side stretch. And then walk it back to center. Place your hands behind the back of your head. One more exercise on our backs. Slide your right knee to the right, like you're in tree pose on your back. And now slide your upper body to the right without lifting it, as if your elbow could touch your knee. You're in a side bend. At the same time, push through your left heel. And now switch back to center, straighten your right leg. Pull your left leg up to bound angle. Slide your upper body, crunch toward the side, and then back to center. Now go side to side, inhaling as you come into that side bend, exhaling to return to center. And this helps lengthen out the side of the body that's straight. And then we also get that nice hip work on the opposite side. So strengthening for our outer hips and our oblique muscles on the side. Let's do one more on each side. Move on the inhalation. We'll get you a little bit longer. And then back to center. And we'll bring those knees into the chest. Give a little rock across your lower back. Okay, let's roll over to the side and we're gonna come on up into a seated position. So feel free to grab your pillow, your blanket, whatever you have to sit on. Maybe for this part, I'm gonna come a little closer till I have to stand up. That's, well, a little bit out of the shadow. Okay. So sitting up nice and tall, widen out your sit bones. And inhale, reach the arms out and up. We're going to interlace the hands if you can and extend your index fingers. You can have your elbows a little bent, or if you can, you're going to go as straight as you can. Really reach those fingers up toward the ceiling, and then we're going to side bend over to the right. And then inhale, come up, and side bend over to your left. Good. Inhale, come up, and now draw a circle with your torso. And we're getting mobility here into our rib cage, into our shoulders as they attach to the rib cage. And now reverse it, go the other direction. Good. Back up through center. And then release. Let those arms come down. Good. Go ahead, switch your legs. Bring the other leg in front, widen out your sit bones. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. Interlace your hands, stretch up tall, extend the index fingers. Side bend over to one side. Let's stretch on the side of the shoulder. Inhale, come up. And side bend the other way. Good. Inhale, come up. This time, no circle. Let the right palm come down to the ground. Walk the fingers out and come into a deeper side bend. Now, your left arm could stay straight up, or turn your palm toward the right and keep turning your pinky finger a little bit more to the right. Your palm starts to face the wall behind you a little bit, and then the arm can come over your ear into a bigger side bend. Now, while you're here, drop your left sit bone more toward the ground. Really feel that nice lengthening through your ribs. The more you pull with your arm, the more you open the space between your ribs. Good. Next inhale, we're going to come up and over to the other side. Walk your left fingers out. Turn your palm, keep turning till your pinky starts to come forward and your palm sort of turns toward the wall behind you a little bit. And then reach. Arm can be over your ear, or you could stay with your arms straight up. That's fine too. Let your right sit bone drop. And then see if you can reach more through the arm to open that tissue between your rib cage. One more breath. All right, next inhale, slowly starting to come up. Good. And then we're going to come into our tabletop to our all fours. We're back on the mat here. All right, so we're going to set up for our cat-cow. We're going to do a few rounds of regular cat-cow, and then I'm going to change it up today a little bit. So let's do 3 rounds of regular cat-cow. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and we're rounding on the exhale. Let's take one more round. We're going to come back into a neutral spine for a moment. If you need a quick child's pose, always feel free. Now we're going to take the breath the opposite way today. So we're going to take the rounding on the exhale. So it's going to be a bit of a brain exercise because we're very used to doing it the other way. But I want you to observe how the breath moves into the back lungs, back rib cage as you inhale. Okay, so we're going to stay in neutral. Take an inhale and an exhale. And on your next inhale, round into cat. Really push through your hands. And then exhale and come into cow, lifting your chest. Inhale into the rounded spine. Feel those back ribs. And then exhale, coming forward. Now, next time, inhale, round your spine. And start to shift a little in a little circle. See if you can hold that breath for just a moment. And then when you need to exhale, exhale through center and come into your cow, lift your chest. So on your own, do 2 more rounds. Inhale, round your spine and then move around. So we're trying to really loosen up those tissues in the ribs. And then when you're ready to exhale, come through center. So don't do it so long that you lose your breath. Last time. After this next cycle, finish your exhale, and then we'll come back now all into a brief child's pose. So hips can go back, hands can come underneath your forehead or straight ahead, your choice. All right, coming back up into tabletop pose. So I'm gonna face forward now. We're gonna do a version of thread the needle. So I'm gonna give you the option of taking your right leg out to the side. If that's too much, keep it down, okay? So if it would feel good, take your leg out to the side. And then you're gonna take your left arm, inhale it up into a twist. And as you exhale, thread it through, reach toward your right toes. And we're gonna repeat that. Inhale, open up into the twist. Exhale, slide it through. Each time, can you get that shoulder through a little more? One more time. Inhale, open up. And exhale, this time hold it. And if your head doesn't reach the ground, grab your pillow and put your pillow under your head. Let's hold it for another breath cycle. And then we'll slowly peel up to the center and bring that leg back in. Inhale up on your knees, reach the arms overhead, interlace your palms, stretch the palms up, 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 and side bend over to the right. Inhale, come up, side bend to your left. Inhale up through center, circle your hands around. Just give those wrists a little loving attention, and then we're going to come back down. And now take your left leg out to the side. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, reach it through. And you don't have to come all the way to the ground initially, but if you can, you're welcome to. Inhale up, exhale, sliding through. And last time, then we hold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread it through, hold it for a few breaths, reach that shoulder through as far as you can. All right, and then slowly release, coming back to center, step your knee back in. Inhale, reach up. Interlace your hands, extend your index fingers. This time we're gonna do those circles. So go ahead and circle your torso around. Those circles can be small, you can make them bigger. See what feels good for you. Getting that nice mobility in the rib cage now. We'll reverse it, go the other direction. And if clasping your hands is too much, do this with your arms separated. That's fine too. That's it. You got it. Always adapt everything for your body. And up through center, and we're going to come back down into tabletop pose. Now we're going to grab our blocks. If you don't have blocks, just make do. You can put your hands on the floor. Just makes it a little easier with the blocks. And we're going to step the right foot forward, coming into a lunge. So I'm going to mirror you guys. So this is my left leg, but step your right leg. And then we're going to take your back shin and swing it over behind your knee. See that little pivot? And then we're going to come up into a warrior two with the knee, with this back knee on the ground. So it's like warrior two, but we're kneeling. That's it. Good. Now press down through your foot that's on the ground. And think about turning that foot out to the right a little bit. Don't turn it. It's just an isometric, slightly kind of moving that foot in that direction. And it helps open up that inner groin, inner thigh, opens up your hip. Now from here, we're going to bring that left hand onto your hip, bring your right forearm onto your thigh. So we're in the side angle. We're still kneeling here. Take your top shoulder, roll it back. You can stay here or bring that right hand down to the block. Then you're going to go a little deeper. And then you can start to lower that block. Some of you might be able to reach down and hold your ankle. And if you hold your ankle, go inside. I'm going to move this other block. Go inside your leg, which helps to open the groin and open the hip. Now turn your chest open. One more breath. Okay, now if you want, take your top arm, reach it up. You can always keep it on the hip or turn your palm to the right. Keep spinning your pinky finger and take that arm over your ear. If that's too much, keep your hand straight up or on your hip. You always have options. You can always keep that bottom arm on your thigh. Good. Inhale, come up to the kind of modified warrior two. And then we're going to change sides. So pivot back around. You can grab your blocks and step the right foot back and bring the left foot forward. Good. So I'm going to turn around so I'm not facing my back to you. And then we're going to swing the back shin around and come up till we're in a kneeling warrior two. That's it. Reach out long through the arms, press through the feet. Find that left foot just turning ever so slightly to the left without moving it. So it's like a press and just a little kind of squeegee action to feel that opening in your hip. Good. Now back hand to hip, right hand to hip, left forearm on your thigh. Good. Take your top shoulder, roll it back. Tone your belly. Now you can stay here or deepen by bringing your hand to the block. You can lower the block or bring your hand inside the front thigh and hold your ankle. And that takes you a little deeper. So it depends on what feels good in your lower back. So if it's too much on your lower back to go lower, then stay with forearm on your thigh. Roll the top shoulder back. You could, if you're holding your ankle, you could press your arm and leg into each other, and that'll help you turn open. It'll help open your hip. Staying here or reaching that top arm up. Turn your palm to the left, spinning that pinky finger around, and then send it over your ear if that feels good. If it doesn't, keep the arm up or on your hip. Also looking at how stable am I. If I'm not stable, I'm going to need to back out. Last breath. And reach to that arm. And then go ahead and rise up to your warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down to your blocks and step that foot back. Okay, we're going to come up for some standing work. So if you still have a blanket on your mat, you can go ahead and take that off. And then keep your blocks nearby. We're gonna need them like toward the back of your mat. So when you stand up and you're in a wide leg position, they would be behind you. And then let's come into our first down dog. So when you're ready, and you've got all that removed, take your hands a little forward of your shoulders, tuck your toes, lift up to a bent knee down dog. And then just take a moment, you could pedal out your feet, bend one knee and then the other. And this is getting into hamstrings, Achilles tendon, ankles. And then when you're ready, both knees bent, walk your hands back to your feet. And then we'll bring the hands to the hips, press through your heels, and we'll come all the way up to a standing position. Okay, so finding your mountain pose. Rooting through your feet, turning your palms open, extend through the crown of your head. And we'll do a couple half sun salutations. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, release, arms down at your side. Good, so 2 more rounds on your own if you can. I just want to adjust my screen a little bit. Hold on 1 second. You can't quite see the top of me. Okay. And 1 more round on your own. You guys look great. A nice, slow, steady pace. And then once you finish that last round, we'll meet back in our mountain pose. Okay. So we'll bring hands to hips and step the feet apart wide. All right, we're gonna take that right leg and rotate the whole right leg out to the right. And then turn the left toes in, widen the left heel. We'll come into warrior 2, standing now. So bend into that knee, reach your arms out, warrior 2. Press down through your feet and find that little kind of corkscrew action in your right foot. So you press it down and have a little sensation of turning it without lifting it, without actually turning it. It's isometric, but it helps open up that inner thigh. Hold here 1 more breath. Good. On your next inhale, we're going to straighten that front leg, but try not to lock the knee. And keep your big toe mound pressing down. And then we're going to re-bend into our warrior 2. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Good. Inhale, straighten, stay here. Reach your arms straight up toward the ceiling. Interlace your palms and press the palms up. Lengthen your side body. And then find that little corkscrew action in the right foot. So we're going to feel like that hip is externally rotating. And now release the arms. Bring your left hand onto your hip. Right arm reaches forward. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, reach to the right, and then bring your hand down to your shin or your block. So if the block is accessible and that feels good, use the block. We're in triangle pose. Or you can also put your hand on your shin. Okay? If you put your hand on your shin, don't press your shin down and lock your knee. Press your shin into your hand. Okay. So if you can, the block is preferable, then we're not jamming our knee. Okay, let your pelvis kind of tip toward the left, towards your back foot. And then we're going to take that top arm and reach it straight up. You can stay here or turn your palm to the right, keep spinning that pinky, and then take that arm over your ear. So we're in triangle with the side bend. Really ground into your back foot. We're going to take one more breath. Reach, reach, reach through that arm. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and rise back up to warrior two. Straighten that leg, parallel your feet, hands on your hips. Okay, other side. Whole left leg turns to the left. Turn your right toes in, widen your heel, and come into warrior two. So that widening the heel helps our SI joint. It's a really important little action. Reach out through your arms, find that little corkscrew action now in your left foot, and notice how that opens up your inner thigh area. As you inhale, straighten your front leg without locking your knee. And then exhale, bend back to your warrior two. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. It'll be really nice and meditative. One more time. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. Good. Now inhale, straighten. And we're going to reach the arms overhead, preparing for triangle. Corkscrew that left foot a little bit. And then you're going to bring your right hand to your hip. Take your left arm out, palm down. And start to reach. And when you reach, let your pelvis tip toward the right. Reach, reach, and then hand comes down to your shin or your block. Now, if you can't reach the block, do use your shin. I want you to be stable. Good. Corkscrew that front foot. Firm your hip muscles, turn your chest open, and then take the top arm and reach it up. We can stay right here or turn the palm, keep spinning your pinky toward the back wall, and then the arm comes over your ear. You might be able to lower onto that block now. And we want to really think about stretching the side body. Reach that arm. Really anchor into your back foot. That'll help also create more of an anchor point to lengthen from. Last breath. And on your next inhale, we're going to slowly come up, bend into that knee, warrior two. Okay, straighten that leg, parallel your feet, and then heel toe till you're back to center, and just give your feet the knees a little shake. Bring a block in front of you, or you can bring two blocks in front of you, that's fine. We're going to do one more standing pose, and we're going to do our peak pose. So feet out wide, once again. This time we're keeping our feet parallel to each other or slightly pigeon-toed. Firm up your legs, lift your belly, lengthen your tailbone. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, find that length. If you want, you could interlace your palms and press up. Good, keep all that length, bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees a little bit, and hinge forward and bring your hands to your blocks. Now, those of you who could easily reach the floor, you don't need your blocks, or you could lower your blocks. We're going to be coming into a twist, so don't go too far down, but see what works for you, that you can keep your chest kind of parallel to the floor, okay? Now we're going to keep the right hand on the block and bring your left hand onto your hip. Inhale, reach your chest forward, and now exhale, turn open towards your left, push into your right palm, and then maybe take that left arm and reach it up. Keep your hips level as you can. Don't let the hips shift. One more breath, push into bottom hand, reach through top arm, and then release. And let's try the other side. Let's bring the hand onto the hip, right hand onto the hip. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, push into the left palm, turn to the right. Keeping your hips level like you could balance a teacup on your sacrum. And then you can stay there or reach the arm up, coming into the deeper twist. And then push through the bottom arm and reach through the top arm. One more breath here. And then slowly release. If you need to, come up higher on your blocks and then heel toe your feet back together. And we'll inhale, stand up, reach the arms up. And exhale, release. Arms down at your side. Good. Okay, we're gonna come now down onto the ground. So you might want to have your blanket again because we're going to be on our knees. So if you have a surface that requires a little cushioning, grab that. And then take your 2 blocks onto the sides like they were for the last set of poses. I'm just going to shift this. Okay, so we're standing up on our knees. We're going to do our gait pose. You're going to take your right leg out to the side. Excuse me. So it's a little bit of balance here because we're standing kind of off symmetry. You have some options for this right leg. You could have your toes pointing to the right on the floor, or you could have your toes up and be on your heel. Some people also like to have the toes pointing forward. So it kind of depends on your anatomy here, what feels best. I like mine turned to the side with my toes down. Okay, make sure the block is behind your shin there and the other block is within reach. And now let's inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace your palms, press up. Now from here, aim your tailbone down, lift your rib cage, reach through those arms as high as you can. And then from here, we're gonna reach the right arm out to the side, left hand on the hip. Reach, reach, reach like we did for triangle, and then bring your hand onto your block or your leg or your shin. You can't get to the block. Okay, top shoulder, roll it back. Keep your hips firming in. And then maybe that left arm reaches up. Spin your pinky and then reach over your ear. And you might be able to lower your block once you come into the side bend part. And we get this big stretch from the kind of top of the hip through the rib cage area. Keep aiming your tailbone down. If it's too much, come up higher. Good, and now inhale, come up, reach both arms up, and bring your left hand onto the other block. And you can put it on whatever level works for you. And maybe shift that block a little bit away from you. You can stay here or reach that arm over your ear. And you could also lift the leg off the ground and try a little balance. If that's too much, you're going to keep that foot down. And if you lift it a little higher, you're going to get a little action and strengthening the top leg on the outer hip side. Lift it a little higher. Good. Slowly come up. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down to the floor in front of you. Good. Walk your arms forward and just let yourself come into almost like a child's pose. Your head comes down. You can also keep your head up. All right, just a short one. Walk it back in, step that foot back in, and then rise up. Inhale up on your knees, both legs together. Exhale, hands to your hips. Let's try the other side. Step that leg out. Decide on the position for your leg. Toes forward or to the side or on your heel. And then we'll inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace your palms, press the palms up. Aim your tailbone down, lift the front of your belly and reach your rib cage high. Keep that length, and we're going to bring the right hand onto the hip, reach the left arm out, and come into your gait pose. Remember, we're not jamming that knee, so don't press down. Press your shin up into your hand or use your block if you can. Okay, so this is our gait pose. Keep your belly toned. Maybe the arm reaches up. Palm can turn, pinky spins toward the wall behind you, and then side bend even more if you like. And you could always lower your block once you get to that point. And then try to really reach through that top arm. Keep pulling your tailbone down toward the ground. Good. Next inhale, we're coming up, and then we'll bring our hand to that other block. And you can stay here, reaching the arm, or you can lower the block if you want. You can try to play with lifting that leg off the ground. And you could still maybe reach the arm over your ear. Try to lift that leg a little higher to strengthen the outer hip. Always keep it down if it's too much. And then we're going to release that foot down and rise back up to center. And both hands come down to the ground. Walk your hands forward. And you can bow down. Maybe the head will come toward the ground, maybe not. And then step it back in, both knees together or knees apart, and come into child's pose. Good work, everybody. Let's take 3 breaths here. After your 3rd breath, we are going to come onto our backs. So find what you want to have for your Shavasana. Keep it nearby. We still want to, maybe cool down a little bit more here. So find whatever you need. If you want a pillow for your head or blanket for your knees. And you could have your blanket under your head for now. And we'll come down and just hug the knees into the chest. You could rock a little bit side to side. All right, and then let the knees drop apart. Reach down, hold your ankles. So we're in kind of that bound angle shape, but the feet do not have to touch. In fact, it's kind of better if they don't. So you can let the knees drop. And let your sacrum drop into the ground. The shoulders relax. Breathe into your belly. And you can stay here, or if it would feel good, you're still holding your ankles, take one leg out to the side. And we get that inner thigh stretch again. And then you can switch and go to the other side. Or you can just keep your legs where they are and just breathe if that's too much. One more time each side. We did a lot of this hinging with the legs today. Helps get into all the different joints. Now, back to center, hold both ankles and see if you can take both feet up like happy baby. And then bring the legs back down towards your bound angle. Just try that a few times. Lift and lower. Now, those of you who want can start to take this into straight legs. So legs out wide, straight as you can get them. They don't have to be all the way straight. And then back to the bound angle shape. And just move slowly through 2 or 3 more times. Whichever version works for you, no right or wrong. Most important thing as a true yogi is to know yourself and to use the wisdom to do the best for yourself, your body, rather than push yourself to something that's not safe. Now let those feet come back down. And now we'll bring them into the chest. Give a good squeeze. And just hold here now with the knees squeezing in. And just have a few breaths. Let the lower back lengthen. All right, let's take both legs up straight again for a moment and circle your feet around one more time. Go the other direction. And then point flex a few times. Okay, we're going to bring those knees in and feet to the ground. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Arms out to a T and just some simple windshield wipers side to side. All right, and then back to the center. Walk your feet back in. Press into your feet and give your tailbone a little length. And then slide your legs out. We're getting ready for Shavasana, so if you wanted to grab anything, you can. You can wiggle your legs out, bounce your legs out, and then finally settle into your relaxation. I'm going to be coming up. I'm going to let you guys take a couple moments to get settled. So finding a really good restful position for yourself. Make any last adjustments so you can feel cozy, comfortable, and relaxed. Cover up if you're cold. Let your back body really drop into the ground. So I'll let you guys continue to rest, and I'll just share a little bit with you about the word gait in Sanskrit. It's doesn't mean gate. It's spelled the same, and it's pronounced gah-tay, gah-tay. And gah-tay has many different meanings, as most words in Sanskrit, but mostly it means arriving, or moving further to the shore. So it's like it implies going somewhere or getting somewhere. And this word is used in the Heart Sutra, which is a very common verse in Buddhist tradition. Sometimes it's also used in the yoga tradition. So I'm going to read the part of that little verse to you. It's actually part of a larger body of work. So here's the Sanskrit. Gah-tay, gah-tay, Parighasana, Parighasana, Bodhisvaha. And so we can think of this in a couple different ways. So my teacher kind of interprets it as arriving all around, awakened. Another interpretation I saw is gone further to the shore, gone even further to the shore, and completely gone to the shore. And then Bodhisattva is like, it's like a offering at the end, almost like if we say amen. So it's like a svaha, svaha. Gone, gone, gone beyond. Gone beyond the beyond. And this whole verse is kind of a reminder of, getting to a place where we actually stop searching or grasping for the next thing, that next shiny thing that'll make us happy, right? Then we need to see how that state of mind feels. How does our mind feel when we are not grasping at anything, when we are not trying to entertain or distract ourselves, when our mind is not going outside or anywhere at all, when there is no place left to go? And to me, that's kind of sums up our practice, right? We're arriving, we're getting to the shore. The end of the shore is our Shavasana, this place where we can empty our minds. There's no distraction here, no need to entertain ourselves. Hopefully, we're not entertaining ourselves with our thoughts in this moment. We're letting our mind be at rest and at peace. So let's take about 1 more minute just to enjoy this place beyond. Gah-tay, gah-tay, Parighasana gah-tay, Bodhisvaha. All right, so it's about time to start to come out. So notice how you feel here after your practice. You can begin a little more conscious breathing. That breath get a little brighter, waking you up. And when you feel ready, you might take a little time to stretch, move slowly. And eventually, after you've had a few moments to wake up, coming over onto your side for a few moments. And after you've had a moment on your side, go ahead, press into your arms and slowly start to come up. And we'll find a cross-leg position. As you're ready, let's place our hands together in front of the heart space. Have a nice inhale, lifting your heart. Exhale, bow your head to meet your heart. And thank you, everyone. Namaste. All right, guys. Hope you did well. Thank you for being here. You can unmute if you like. Ooh, that sun's really in my eyes. I'm gonna turn a little bit. There we go. All right, how did we do with everything? You guys do okay? Yeah? Did that little action I taught you with your foot, did that make sense? The little corkscrew? Any questions about that? Okay, you able to feel how that opened up the hip and everything? Okay, that's a new cue, so.
Yeah, that made my knee not stay over my toe more.
Yeah.
So that's a helpful hint.
Good. Yeah, that was just a new cue that I learned, and I thought it was really good, but it's kind of hard to explain on Zoom. So I just want to make sure you guys figured it out. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. This coming Thursday is the trauma class with Eileen. If anyone's interested, we're going to do a somatic practice, and she's going to talk about trauma from the Chinese medicine perspective. So if anyone has questions about that, feel free to shoot me an email. And otherwise, I'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Take care.